Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be trying out some Canadian makeup. One of my New Year's resolutions is to feature a new Canadian product every month to kind of show you guys what Canadians have to show other Canadians what might be worth purchasing to support Canadian companies. So the first one for 2019 is something that you can find in the drugstore. It's something I've grown up with my whole life, and I probably only ever tried the kohl pencils for like eyebrows and liner in junior high. It is a product from Annabelle. So I'll show you a clip of me shopping Annabelle at the drugstore to kind of give you an idea of what they offer. They have been around forever. They are based out of Montreal. And it's just one of those brands that I just like always overlook. Lately, I think they have been kind of killing it with their campaigns visually. The first time that I really noticed them or thought, oh, they're trying something different was when they came out with those square lipstick bullets, and they had some pretty awesome photos to go along with it. And they have a new campaign out right now called Bouncy Bouncy Bouncy, I don't know. But I think it's because the texture of some of the products is bouncy. And it has eyeshadows, mascara, face and body, glow, highlighter type of thing, and the eyebrow palette. So I decided to go with the mascara. I love testing out mascaras on my channel. And one thing I noticed when looking at all the Annabelle products, I saved the packaging, is that they give you this little guide of like what the length is going to be and what the volume is going to be. So when you're shopping, you can kind of compare mascaras. I thought that was really helpful and handy. It's supposed to be bouncy volume, which I don't know what it means. I'm not too sure it makes any sense. It's a non-messy adjustable brush. You're supposed to get 50 times volume for dazzling fuller lashes. You get 12 mils of product and it retails for $9.95 Canadian. Here's a look at the ingredients, and it is made in Italy. Pretty nice packaging. It reminds me a lot of like CoverGirl. And when I open it up here, you can see you can adjust the brush. It's almost like an insect leg or something. Kind of cool, kind of gimmicky, which I like. There was also another one which was supposed to be extendable, and I almost got that one too because it seemed pretty gimmicky. But I decided that maybe it made more sense to go with the newer mascara. So anyway, that is beside the point. So let's go ahead and throw this mascara on, see how well it does over the next 12 hours, and see if you should give Annabelle mascaras a second look. Alright, here we go. So the brush does pick up quite a bit of product. You can see the top of my tube is pretty gunky. And I'm just going to go in. The formula is quite wet, and I think it adds a ton of length. It does an okay job at feathering, and the brush is pretty big, which means it's not the easiest to get around your lower lashes. The formula also does tend to clump a little bit as well. So let's see with and without the mascara. I think it's a pretty dramatic before and after. I think from far away it looks a little bit nicer than it does up close, where it looks a little like clumped up. And what does it remind me of? Maybe a little bit of the It Superhero mascara. I found that one was like quite wet and heavy feeling, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this mascara. Rotating the brush is like pretty darn intuitive. I feel like when I pull it out of the tube, I just kind of do it naturally. So I do really like that. This mascara has not been open very long at all, like less than a month. It does kind of flake off onto your cheeks as you're applying it, which is not the best and not very common. Alright, there is the other eye done. I think it does a decent job of clumping and separating. And like if you over clump, you do have time, probably because it's so wet, to go back in and separate everything and kind of like fluff everything up. I feel like after application, if you like close your eyes hard to sneeze or apply setting spray, it would get everywhere just because it is so wet. But I do really like the effect. I feel like you even get a little bit of curl from the mascara. I feel like it's maybe starting to flake a little bit already, which is not a good sign. Let me show you what it looks like under natural light, and then we'll wear test it for the next 12 hours, see if it smudges or does more flaking or anything, see how it lasts. So let's start the day. Okay, here we are at the end of the day. My hair kind of fell out as we got progressively later here. Anyway, let's take a look at this mascara. So, looking up real close, there's definitely a little bit of flaking. Some of the flakes are like super tiny, probably hardly noticeable, but you can definitely notice it if you look close. They do wipe away super easily, which is nice. And I think my lashes are still looking really lovely, especially from far away. They kind of, I guess, harden as they dry, and I feel like it really locks in the curve, the volume, the separation. Everything looks pretty darn good. And based on application, I thought there was going to be a lot more flaking. I think aside from those application problems, the mascara does wear really well. And for $10, I think it's definitely something fun to try out if you've never tried it out before, especially if you like wet mascaras. Personally, for me, I just hate the wet mascara application process, but I have to say, using this wand that moves back and forth like this in any direction was really cool, really, I guess, innovative. It's like not that big of an innovation, but like somebody had to think of it and make it happen. And not every brush can do this, so that's pretty darn cool. Another complaint, I guess, is that it does get really goopy on the brush, so you do have to kind of wipe it down before you go into apply, just like the It Superhero mascara. So, while it was a good mascara, I don't think it's the one for me. I definitely would be open to trying out other Annabelle mascaras to see if one is a little bit more suitable for me. Aside from that, I think I'm going to give this mascara just a 3 out of 5. Like, it was good. I liked it in some aspects a lot, but I also wasn't the biggest fan. It definitely had some drawbacks. I think for the price, it's a good deal. And I would definitely use up my tube, but I don't think I would repurchase it. Would I recommend it? I would probably recommend something else from Annabelle. Maybe explore something, and unless you love wet mascaras, maybe don't go for this one. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, leave a comment. Thank you so much for all your comments lately. I've been getting so many nice comments, and I really appreciate all your feedback and support. I also really appreciate the support of my patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to become a patron, you can help out my channel for as little as $2 a month. And I've just put together a new Canadian makeup playlist, so make sure you check that out here. I've got some Canadian brands for you to check out, and I'm even including things like Bite Beauty, which were once Canadian, but now aren't quite so Canadian. But, I mean, Alright, so I will see you all in Monday's video. Bye!